2025. So this is our first live session for 2025. So if you guys are able to hear us properly, please give us thumbs up. We are live on all the platforms on TikTok, as well as on Facebook and YouTube as well. So if you're able to hear us properly, please give us a thumbs up. We want to wish all of you a very, very happy new year. And I hope all of you had a good break. So today's live session is going to be mainly focused upon how you can plan your 2025 in terms of your migration goals, and what you can do at this moment to make your dreams come true in 2025. Last year and the year before that were not very good in terms of migrants because of all these changes in regulations and rules, reduction of age limit for 485, increased English requirements, multiple changes around skilled visa and all that. So there has been a lot of movement in terms of rules and regulations for Australian migration in the last couple of years. But there are certain good news as well, because all these changes, when they happen, eventually things will get tightened for short term, but in long run, if you look at in long run, you may see good effects on migration of all these rules and regulations. Okay, so please help me in double tapping the screen. I know many of you are still on holidays, but if you are back from holidays, and if you have any migration related questions, please start posting those questions in the comment box, whether you are on Facebook, you are on YouTube, or any other social media platform. Okay, so I'll be taking comments from all platforms. Can you please check if we are live on YouTube as well?
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. And can check if we are able to, people are able to hear us properly. To check if it is.
Hold on for a second.
Yeah,
We are.
audible. That's good. Wonderful. All right. I will also be taking questions on TikTok as well as on YouTube. So I've got this question coming from Sham Ryder. Sham is at 85 points for 491 any chances, and the occupation is 233914. Let me quickly have a look what occupation this is, and what could be your scope going forward. So 233914. Engineering technologist. Look, I'll be very open and very honest. Engineering technologist, now, this occupation is pretty common because a lot of engineers can also get this skills assessment easily. So people have engineering skills assessment as well as engineering technologist as well. Your points are 85 at okay level, but you also you need to keep in mind that we do have, for 189 we do have roughly 5410 expression of interest, which is a reasonably big number. I can share the screen with you, just give me one sec. So please also help me with the comments from there as well, so we don't want to make anyone.
So,
feel bad.
Kipto, Coach, where is your office located? So, yes, Kipto, we are located in Adelaide. So, our building address is level 468 Grenfell Street.
Yeah, but we serve clients throughout Australia. We do have lots of clients sitting overseas as well as other parts of Australia. So no matter where you are located, we can still serve you. All right, so I'm sharing the screen with you. That was for Sham Ryder. You can see that we have 5,410 expression of interest for 189 for engineering technologists, and there are people at least 600 to 700 people above 85 points. So those would be competing with you, and this occupation is not something that is in priority for this year for most of the states. So all the best to you. If there is any room for you to keep improving your points, please do it. Next year could be slightly better if we get more number of places for in terms of state nomination. Okay, all
So,
the
and if
best.
someone is saying about automotive, what's the scope of automotive? If you have a genuine job and with good salary, then you may have a better chances to apply for a PR, but otherwise, no.
As an automotive, as Manjot said, if uh, it's not that they are not getting invited at all, but the number of invites that are coming for automotive technicians are limited, and the people who have jobs, who are working in their nominated occupation, and if their salary level is up to the mark, and if they have an employer who is happy to sponsor them, which is generally a case for most of the motor mechanics these days, then you have options to get sponsored. And no, there are you might be aware that on 7th of December 2024 there were many changes that were made in employer sponsored visa, mainly 4A2 skills in demand visa. The work experience requirements are just for 1 year now, and even if you in certain occupations, even if you don't hold a skills assessment, it is still doable. So what is going to be more important, you all need to understand, is working in the nominated occupation. So in the occupation in which you are currently studying, it is going to be important for you to find a job in that occupation. Sooner or later it is going to help you to materialize your PR
Yes,
pathway
and your salary should be good enough.
as well. Yeah, so if you're currently employed in nominated occupation but your salary is at lower level, as your experience increases, your salary, you would also have higher chances of getting higher salary too. So continue applying for jobs actively, and if you land in a better salary job, go for it. Okay, so don't set any limits to yourself, don't restrict yourself to certain things, and don't get into your comfort zone unless you achieve PR. After achieving your PR, you can then choose to do what you want to do. But before getting while you're making your pathway to PR, it is important you plan accordingly. Okay. We are taking questions on
So
YouTube as well as on Facebook as well as on TikTok. So you can feel free to ask questions on any platform. So TikTok is too crowded at the moment, but if you want your question to be highlighted, probably good to come on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is Australian Visa Matters. Okay, you can also see the link on TikTok too.
even someone wants to apply PR from any another country, if someone is not living in Australia, then you will need uh, your qualification plus work experience
Yeah.
that should be related to your qualification. Then it may be possible that you can apply for the direct PR
From offshore as well. Lots of
from any other country. If we are saying word offshore, it means another country
other than
Australia. So Australia means onshore. Like we are onshore in Australia.
So we've been receiving lots of inquiries from applicants located offshore. Offshore means not in Australia. Mainly, lots of inquiries from Gulf countries, UAE, Qatar. Lots of inquiries from Kenya, Africa, and these countries. Remember, guys, we won't be able to help you much if you just give us a call on WhatsApp and all that. If you're seriously interested and if you're able to afford it, and if you want to discuss your options. Um, Remember, there are no jobs for cleaners, bus drivers, truck drivers, or laborers in Australia. If you are hearing this news from your local agencies in your countries that Australia is hiring farm workers, Australia is hiring cleaners, Australia is hiring factory workers, those all things are not correct. Okay, so there are no jobs, there are no skill level 4 jobs in Australia unless it is employer sponsored visas, and it is going to be very difficult for you to have employer sponsored visa while you're sitting offshores. So keep one thing in mind: if you want to come to Australia as a skilled migrant, either you're required to have professional qualification, at least a bachelor's degree plus 1 or 2 or 3 years of work experience and good English. That is one basic requirement. Or you're required to have trade qualification, good English, and some 2 or 3 or 4 years of work experience. And remember, if you're working in cash, so if you're only getting your salary in cash and you do not have pay slips and stuff, it's not possible in that case, because you won't be able to justify your work experience. Okay, but if you have the evidence and if you have affordability, if you're able to afford our services, then we can assist you definitely. The first thing is to book appointment, and you can do so by visiting our website at www.ems.com.au. Okay. uh, Ashish Chetri is asking, I get 491 from Western Australia. If I didn't get nomination before my visa expired, can I go to bridging visa? Or so, Ashish Chetri, it seems that you have received a 491 nomination invitation pre-invite from Western Australia, and you want to put state nomination application, but you're not sure whether you'll get a bridging visa A or not. So let me make it clear to you.
I think
You only get.
I think he's saying that he didn't get the invite, nomination.
Yeah, that's right.
But
So he has got a pre-invite.
The pre-invite. Yeah,
He got the
maybe he
pre-invite.
applied for the nomination, but he hasn't got the
Yeah,
nomination
so that's
yet.
what I was trying to say. So if you don't get a bridging visa unless you lodge the visa application, okay, so you only get the visa bridging visa A when you lodge the application. So Ashish, I'm not sure what exactly your circumstances are, what is the timeline, and whether you're being assisted by a migration agent or not. But this is high time you seek assistance from a migration agent, so you are able to navigate your pathway from here on. You have received the invite, which is a great thing, but you really need to now focus on how you're going to navigate going forward to secure that invite, either in the given time or manage it in by doing it managing it in by other ways. It could be lodging another visa application. I'm not sure exactly about your situation. So please book appointment or seek assistance from any other migration agent in your locality. If you want to discuss with me, please add to my website at www.ems.com.au, and you can make a booking from there. Okay. Some questions are from TikTok now. D is asking, sir, how long does 491 take to get granted in Western Australia? I am on a 491 bridging visa now. So D, if you are a holder of a bridging visa, 491 processing times are roughly 18 months. That was the
But
last time.
it depends upon your occupation.
As
if
well,
your
yeah.
occupation is in priority list, then you may get your grant soon.
Okay, guys.
Otherwise, it will take around maybe up to 1 year, 1.5 year, 1 to 1.5 year.
Guys, if you're calling us from TikTok, or if you're watching a live show now and you're calling us now, I won't be able to take any calls. If you want to discuss your profile, please head to our website and book appointment directly from there. Just give me 1 sec. Let me check if we have all the times available on the website already, as we have just returned from holidays and we are still, coming back from that holiday mode.
Question from. So it's a hotel motel manager. So D, if you are a hotel motel manager, I think this is not in the priority list. So maybe it will take up to 1.5 year. 1 to 1.5 year. It's a normal time, what I believe.
Just give me 1 sec. I'm just checking whether the times
So
are open.
Topada is saying, what are the chances of getting PR through MIT in cybersecurity? So Topada, cybersecurity is a good degree according to current scenario. So if you are able to get job as a cybersecurity manager or something, whatever it is, maybe software engineering specializing in cybersecurity, then you may have a better chances.
Yep, guys, you will be able to book appointments. If you want to do so, you can do so from the website.
Ragvi Khatri, 85 points ICT BA, Queensland, 190 chances, please, working in a nominated occupation. Have you applied for the ROI, Ragvi, and are you graduate from Queensland?
Rugby, in your case, I know you are currently employed, which is great, but you also need to keep in mind that Queensland has very, very limited
Limited
number
place.
of places. So, and they do have some priority areas as well. So, if your occupation is not in that priority area at 85 points, you should not have very big hopes, especially this financial year. But if your visa is valid for next, say, a couple of years, then you can still wait in Queensland. Always continue improving your points, and also if you get better salary, better outcome of for your job, better salary, that would always help. Okay, so please weigh your options. You could also explore, if your visa is running out soon, you can also explore other options,
Remember,
maybe an
if you have
employer
a good
sponsored
salary,
visa.
even more than 73,150, then you may have a better chances to apply for the employer sponsored visa
If your
at the
visa is
very end.
running out,
Someone is saying that that I have this much salary, and at the end, so you can't able to ask even to your employer that you want an increment in your salary. But if you have a already incremented salary, then you have a good chances of getting a sponsorship from your employer, or maybe you can ask for some reasonable amount for your increment. Maybe if you are getting 70,000 for a 1 year, then you can ask to your employer that please give me some
increase the
increment,
salary
increase the salary for 3,000 or maybe more than that. Then
to
you are
meet
able
that
to apply for the
minimum
employer sponsored visa at the very end of your 485 visa ending.
threshold.
Yeah.
Threshold. Okay, so there are other requirements as well, but primarily, yes, wage
Yes.
is one of the
So
requirements.
this is the main hitch when the people are trying to apply for the employer sponsored visa. So their employers are getting refused to give them this much salary.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Mavik Ives Sharmine Suzon is asking, my husband is under my student visa. We have been here for a year. His work wants to sponsor him with 186. He has 4 years of experience. What are the requirements? He is a cook. So let's navigate this one by one. For your husband to apply for subclass 186 visa, he can go under 186 direct entry. Okay, so let's look at the basic requirements of subclass 186 direct entry. You must be less than 45 years of age. You must have at least 6 each bands in English. You must have at least 3 years of full-time work experience or part-time equivalent after your relevant qualification. So in this case, a relevant qualification is minimum certificate 4. You should also have a positive skills assessment. Okay, if you want to go for subclass 186 direct entry, and you should have an employer who has a genuine position. Okay, and the employer is able to pay minimum TISMIT salary, which is 73,150 for this financial year. So these are some of the basic requirements for subclass 186 visa. If you meet them, then yes, you can go for employer sponsored visa 186 direct entry. If not, then you may have to explore other options. I'm really not sure where you're located. You could be in a Dama region. There could be different things that could apply to you. So look, if you, Shamin, if you want to discuss this with us, please head to my website at www.ems.com.au, and you can make a booking from there. Make sure your employer is also present in the consultation, so I can run the eligibility criteria for the employer as well as you too, and we can take it from there. Okay, so just be mindful about the cost as well. Employer sponsored visas can cost you a lot of money. So some steps are done by the employer, some steps are done by the visa applicant. So cost is also another factor that you need to consider. But if you meet the criteria, yes, that could be the best option for you to go for 186 because it is a permanent resident visa. Okay. I'm going to take this question from Naveen. Is asking, early childhood at 80 points, New South Wales or Western Australia, working on own field residing in New South Wales. Very, very high chances, Naveen, with 80 points. Even New South Wales can invite you if you're working in the nominated occupation. It could just be the matter of time. Okay. All the best to you.
Are we able to display our phone number on the YouTube?
Yes, we are. So just give me one sec, guys. We are also able to show you our phone numbers on
Maybe in
yeah.
yeah,
So you can see our website address scrolling on the bottom, and you can also see our phone number too. Okay. All right, so continue asking questions, guys, and if you think that we do a great job, bringing these live shows, and if you think that these live shows are helpful to you, if you're watching a live show for the first time, or on TikTok, or on YouTube, or on Facebook, please do not forget to hit that follow or subscribe button. Okay. Jay Yadav is asking, I have 2.5 years of work experience of TR left. Can I do painting, and what are the chances, or is it good to graduate diploma in early childhood? I'm in New South Wales. So Jay Yadav, critical question. There are multiple things that you need to consider before you make this critical decision. What I would recommend you can have a chat with Mr. Manjot. Okay, so send us a message on WhatsApp +61 452 169 200
with your name,
and send us a message on WhatsApp with your name.
And this
then,
question, and maybe I will get in touch with you, and
yes, so
maybe we'll call you and
we can discuss. You need to know the pros and cons of each option that you choose. Okay, it's not about
it's not my decision. It's totally up to your decision. But I will guide you that what are the pros and cons of the each
option. Yeah.
Even painting or any other course, I will tell you. But decision is yours.
Yeah, decision is yours. We are not going to force something on you guys, because what is applicable to me may not be applicable to you, and what is applicable to Manjot may not be applicable to you or me. So we are all different. We come from different backgrounds. We come from different levels of intellect. We come from different levels of English. We come from different financial backgrounds. So our strengths and weaknesses, they change from person to person. Some people want more hands-on work, so trades kind of occupations could be good for them. Some people want just white-collar job, then professional occupations could be good for them. You can achieve PR in the trade occupation. You can also achieve PR in the professional occupation. But what exactly do you want to do? On the basis of that, we help you in making that decision. So if you are looking at just discussing a course change or course change related matter, simply send us a message on WhatsApp with your question, and Manjot will get back to you. If you want to discuss a skills assessment, a partner visa, general skill migration 189 491 190. If you want to discuss employer sponsored visa 482, skills in demand visa 186, or TRT, DAMA visa. If you have questions related to employer sponsored visa, simply head to our website at www.eems.com.au and you can book appointment. My consultation charges are $99 only, still $99. They may go up in future, but still $99. And that gives you half an hour to 45 minutes one-on-one time with me to get all the questions addressed and see if we are able to assist you. Okay. Do we help in finding the sponsorship? No, we don't. We are not into that messy business of finding the sponsorship, because if I help you in finding the sponsorship, that means I'm also taking cut, and we are not in all that game. We believe in honest, ethical, and transparent migration practice, and this has been our motto, and this is what we stand for: honest, ethical, and transparent. And I also want to let all of you guys know we are not the cheapest. So if you're looking for some cheap work, please do not waste our time and your time as well. There would be a lot of other people out there who can do a cheap job, but we believe in quality service, and that's what you expect from us. But we won't take any money from you under the table like many other people may do. Okay, so that's where we are different. Okay, that's where we are slightly different, so, and strict as well. Okay, so we are here to help. Okay, but we have our own ethics when we deliver our services. All right, so some questions from TikTok now.
Auden is the best.
Auden is asking,
is the best. I'm on 494 skills sponsored visa in SA. Is it okay to live in Adelaide and my wife living in the Geelong area?
Very good question. If you are on 494 visa, 494 visa has some conditions. Okay, Geelong area is also a regional area. Okay, so Geelong is also a regional area. So if 494 requires you to live in certain regional postcodes, you just read the conditions read the conditions of your visa and go to Department of Home Affairs website and read it there, the description. And if
so Auden,
that is fine.
so the your visa grant letter says your conditions, so you have to stick with those conditions, and your wife's visa may have a different condition, so
slightly
she
different
have to stick with those conditions. So if the visa grant letter is saying that she can live anywhere in Australia but have to be in a regional area, then that would be fine. No problem at all.
Vivek has a very interesting question. Can I count my work experience gained before certificate 4 and diploma for 482 SE SID visa? Absolutely, yes. No issues with that at all. Okay.
Can dependent stay outside under 491 visa, and dependent can apply PR visa after 3 years for a whole family?
Which visa? 494?
491. So
can dependent apply for 491 as a 191 as a main applicant? Yes, but they need to meet the criteria. So that means if they have not met the criteria, they can't be the applicant for 191. Does that make sense? So
main criteria is that to live in a regional
area for 3 years.
Yes.
And have 3 tax returns and all those basic criteria. So if the secondary applicant who was a secondary applicant for the first 491 application wants to become a primary applicant for subclass 191 visa, then that person needs to meet all the conditions of 491 visa to be eligible for 191 visa as a primary applicant.
But technically, both have to meet the 491 conditions, and
not necessarily. So a secondary applicant, even if the secondary applicant does not meet the condition, it's okay.
Okay.
As long as primary applicant.
But I think the visa conditions would be there. I think.
Yeah, there would be conditions. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But if say suppose if the secondary applicant has spent more time outside, that's fine. As long as primary applicant is within Australia and they meet all the conditions. Sometimes you have health reasons you are not able to work, or sometimes your health reason you have spent more time outside the country, or for XYZ reasons. But you have 5 years. So 491 visa is valid for 5 years, and out of 5 years you have to show 3 years of stay in Australia. So it may get, your process may get delayed if you spend more time offshore, but you can still apply. Okay, guys, so just a little bit of housekeeping. If you guys are watching a live show for the first time, please hit that follow button right away. Okay, and I also want to ask all of you, please post in the comment box the name of your country if you are not located in Australia. If you're located in Australia, please post the name of your state or your city. I want to see where all of our viewers are located.
So Randava Singh, if you are in Canada and you want to apply something from Canada, that's the only option is if you are on a student visa and on a temporary visa in Canada, then only option is a student visa. So, and if you are a passport holder or maybe permanent passport holder, then you may apply for a working holiday visa
as well if you subject to meeting other criteria.
Yes.
Okay, so in working holiday visa,
but
for
the truckers, there is nothing for the truckers, for the bus drivers, for any other laborer or maybe workers' jobs.
If you can apply for general skilled migration as well if you have any professional or trade qualification, if you're able to achieve skills assessment, meet English. Look, Canadian passport holders does not get any visa in Australia directly. Only one country in whole world
can have a direct PR.
Can have direct work visa in Australia on landing, and that is New Zealand. If you are a New Zealand passport holder, you can come to Australia, and while you are on airport in Australia, you can get on arrival visa, work visa for unlimited time. But if you are a passport holder of any other country other than New Zealand, you are required to have a visa to come to Australia. It does. Look, if you come from Canada to Australia on any visa, especially those visas that involve genuine temporary entrant criteria, GT criteria. So as compared to India, you're slightly better in addressing GT if you're coming from Canada. But apart from that, nothing else changes. So regulations are same for everyone, whether you are UK passport holder, you're Canadian passport holder, you have US passport, or you have passport from even South Africa, or even many countries in Europe too. So Australia is across the board. They have similar kind of regulations for every country except New Zealand. Okay.
Like if someone have a bachelor degree and relevant work experience, like for example, if someone has done degree in agriculture and may have a experience in agriculture, maybe as a farm manager or maybe grower or maybe consultancy, agriculture consultancy, then with that experience, then the person may qualify for the direct PR or maybe any other visa, work visa to Australia. So this is the basic thing to qualify for the PR, subject to the other conditions as well.
All
So
right,
where
can
be
we pick
no
another
housing
question?
here, stay in home country. Okay, Valley. Don't mind.
There was a
Like,
question from Steve.
Steve, but UK international students get more hours than others. So Steve, we don't have any idea about the UK international students. I think they also have a working hours condition. I think 20 hours, but I'm not 100% sure. I know that the UK doesn't allow the international students, those who are residing in a UK, to get their visas extendable.
So
I think they only allow
I
for
think
the
we
one
should
time for
reserve
yeah.
our comments for UK, because we are at the moment not discussing UK's visa. We are only discussing the visas for Australia and
Yeah.
questions around your Australian visas. Okay, so if you have any questions related to Australian visas, please put them in the comment box. We'll try our best to address those questions as soon as we can.
But we can do skilled visa from UK.
Vic is saying, after the diploma course, can we still apply for postgraduate visa, or it's changed as well? After the diploma course, can we still apply for postgraduate visa? Yes. So your question is related to 485 visa, I think, Vic. So after completing a diploma level qualification or even certificate level qualification for minimum 2 years in the relevant occupation or in the relevant area, you can apply for 485 visa. And what are those relevant fields? All those occupations that are available in medium and long term skill list. So in medium and long term skill list, you have lots of occupations, including chef, you have motor mechanics, you have carpenters, you have bricklayers, you have lots of occupations in which you can apply for 485 visa. But you can't apply if you have studied diploma of nursing, or if you have studied any other course for which the career outcome is not matching with any of the occupations in the medium and long term skill list. Okay.
So Viraj Jitin, I'm in India. Registered nurse profession, Viraj.
So Viraj Jaitin, if you are a registered nurse in India, okay, if you have some work experience, if your English level is up to 7 each, I would recommend you to get your 7 each, okay, and then apply for registration at AHPRA. You would be required to do NCLEX and some other exams and stuff. But if you get registration in Australia, you can apply for general skilled migration from Offshore itself. If you are not able to do so, I would recommend you to explore student visa options. Okay, for that, if you have enough funds and stuff, if your family is able to support you, explore the options for student visa. You can contact the nearest IDP office. I don't promote IDP, but I say I feel that IDP does a great job. So you can go and contact the nearest IDP office and ask them if any student visa
Because some
is
of the
possible
IDP have provision to get the unconditional offer
letter.
from the
They have
university.
good tie-ups. I mean, we don't do much offshore. Remember, guys, if we have been thinking of opening offices in India, okay, and even UAE, Dubai as well, and we need your feedback too. So what do you guys think? It would be worth opening an office in maybe one office in UAE, in Dubai, as well as in India. So we are also looking for some kind of suggestions. How do you guys feel about it? There are roughly 18,000 followers I have on TikTok, and many of them are located in other countries. So please share your input as well about our plans. Anne is asking, I'm currently doing diploma in early childhood education, will be finishing soon. Am I on the path for PR? So Anne, you can only, that's okay. I don't want to block anyone. Let people, express their views. We are on TikTok and we expect many people to express their views. I've got no issues with that. Okay. Anne is saying, I'm currently doing diploma in early childhood education, will be finishing soon. I'm on the path for PR. So diploma in early childhood education can lead you to permanent residency through employer sponsored visa. Okay, recently the childcare worker is also eligible for skills in demand visa. Okay, so you would be required to have 1 year of work experience and your employer can sponsor you. The only challenge for childcare workers is to have that minimum salary of 73,150. So that's a pretty good challenge for them, but that can help you to get employer sponsored visa. This course can help you, or this occupation can help you to get employer sponsored visa. Okay. Can I move from a student visa to another visa, like work without completing my course? Yes, if you are able to find an employer who can sponsor you, or if you have qualifications and work experience from offshore, then you can get skills assessment, meet minimum points requirements, apply for UI and ROI wherever you are located, depending upon the state where you are currently based in. And if you get invited, you can apply for a general skilled migration as well. So there could be multiple different options. While you're holding a student visa, it could be possible for you to even apply for a partner visa if you have Australian citizen or permanent resident partner. So there could be multiple different options depending upon your situation. So in these live shows, we only discuss generic things. Okay. So Virat Jatain, I already have a HPRA. So Virat Jatain, do you have a HPRA registration as a registered nurse? If you have a AHPRA registration as a registered nurse, you can get skills assessment and get meet minimum points and apply for offshore expression of interest. You may get invited from one or the other state. I mean, if you already have that AHPRA, then what are you waiting for?
If you need help, then you can contact us.
Okay, so okay, so what's the best visa if my 485 is coming to an end? Brainbox is asking the best visa if your 485 visa is coming to an end. Look, there could be multiple different options. For us to assess your situation and assess your eligibility for any of the visa options available to you, we would need to know your story. I would recommend you to book appointment and then we can discuss in detail. How much for lodging TR? Generally, we don't give any prices on TikTok, or even if you call me and ask for price, we don't, because our prices vary according to the work involved. Okay, so sometimes we have more work involved than the normal application, so we charge accordingly. But on an average, 485 visa can cost you anything between 550 to 1,100 roughly. Okay, depending upon the family number of family members and complexity of your case. Troy is asking, sir, I'm waiting for protection visa to be granted. Meantime, do I eligible for skilled visa? So Troy, yeah, you could be eligible for skilled visa. For you to be eligible for skilled visa, you require to have an occupation, have skills assessment, meet minimum points requirement, and be invited if you're going for state-based visas or even 189. And you can only apply for these skilled visas if you are on bridging visa A, bridging visa B, or bridging visa C. If you have a visa refused in Australia, that might preclude you from applying for some visas, but these are some of the options for you. Okay, so if you want to discuss your options, Troy, please book appointment. Sudeep, can I apply for TR after I do graduate, after I do graduate visa after bachelor's? Can I apply for TR after I do graduate visa after bachelor's? I'm not sure. I didn't understand the
Maybe
question.
after graduate diploma or something.
So Sudeep, it seems, so remember, I'm not sure what your question is. I'm not exactly sure, but it seems to me that you're asking, can you apply for...
Yes, graduate diploma. Sudeep Maharchan.
So after graduate diploma, you can't apply for 485 visa generally, unless the graduate diploma is after the entry requirement for that graduate diploma is a bachelor's degree, and that graduate diploma's duration is minimum for 2 years. Okay. Ibrahim Khan is asking, how can I my wife and sons to Australia if I come to partner 100 visa? How I can my wife and sons to Australia if I come partner 100 visa? So If you come to Australia on a partner 100 visa, that means it's a permanent visa, okay, and that means you have a partner in Australia. So if you had your wife and children from your previous relationships in Australia, offshore, it is going to be a bit difficult to figure out, depending upon how you achieved your current partner visa. It could be very complex, Ibrahim. I'm not sure what exactly the story you have, but if you want to discuss that in detail, please head to my website and you can book appointment. I'll be happy to listen to your story and see what we can do. Okay. I apply subclass 192 already. I'm still waiting for update, please. So subclass 192, I'm not sure which visa is it. I haven't come across any cases for subclass 192. But if you have lodged a visa application, and if you are waiting for the decision on your visa application, if you want to know about the processing times, you can simply go to Department of Home Affairs website and there is a checker. So if you just Google visa processing times, generally there's a first link. You can go to the website and you can type in your visa lodgement date, the subclass of the visa. It gives you tentative time how long it can take for the visa to be decided. Okay. Prajwal is asking if I have 482 visa on certain occupation, and what if they remove the occupation from 186? So if you have 482 visa on certain occupation, that could be restaurant manager. That is the only occupation that has been affected lately. So if you have 482 visa as a restaurant manager, you can't do 186 with that under TRT because this occupation is not available. However, you can apply under DAMA labor agreement. Okay, so under DAMA labor agreement, certain DAMAs restaurant manager is still available, and you can apply for even 494 or even 482 again, and then 186. So there could be different options.
So does Bachelor of Human Service qualify for PR?
The Bachelor's of Human Service degree will allow you, if it is ACWA accredited degree or even provisionally accredited degree, if your placements are done properly, appropriately, and you can get skills assessment as a community worker, even youth worker. And these two occupations, there are a couple of other occupations as well.
Behavior practitioner related as well.
Yeah, closely related occupations. You can get 491 as well as 190 visa under general skill migration. Both these visas are state sponsored visas. Okay. Okay, so Mink is asking, any chances to get invite in Western Australia as a chef at 70 points, UI points for 190? I really doubt it. Okay, chef at 70 for 190 in Western Australia, I really doubt it. Maybe 491, but I really doubt 190 for chefs under current circumstances. It is a big question. BRL Sumit is asking, I have completed my diploma in childcare and working in childcare. Any possibilities for PR through? So BR Sumit, you can't get general skilled migration. That means you can't get 491, 190,
and 189. You can't be able to get the state-sponsored visa, but employer-sponsored visa could be an option if your childcare. If your employer can
help you with the sponsorship. Guys, if you really want us to display your question on the screen and have a detailed discussion, share screen with you as well. If your question is detailed, then you can bring all the questions on YouTube. Okay, so we're live on YouTube as well. And our YouTube channel details can be found on the TikTok too. It is Australian Visa Matters. Okay. So Webby, I've been trying to abstain from your comment time and time again. I'm not sure what your purpose is. Okay. You got my phone number there, 0452169200. And if you want to have open discussion about migration in Australia, you feel free to call me. Give me reference, your reference, and we can have open discussion. I'm always open for discussions. Okay.
And anyone else as well.
All right. So Ibrahim Khan, I want to get appointment to discuss about story my wife and sons in Pakistan. You can do so by visiting my website at www.ems.com.au. Okay. Hamad is asking, have they changed the requirement of graduate diploma of early childhood? Have they changed the requirement of graduate diploma of early childhood? There is no change as such. The only
Not
change
the
is for
requirement.
skills assessment. Okay, so the skills assessment body has changed from AITSL to SCQA, and that is the only change. The English requirements are also now slightly changed. Okay, so these are the changes that happened in the month of, I think, December.
Yes.
Yeah, in November. They started in December. Um, so when is the New South Wales opening for Pathway 2? So New South Wales has invited certain applicants for Pathway 2, but it is not in very, very big numbers. So Webby, my English is not very good. I hope most of the people are able to understand me. Obviously, I'm not a native speaker. My native language is Hindi. I originally come from India, but I believe I can speak enough English. I hold 3 master's degrees from Australian universities. I'm not sure what are your qualifications, but just being a native speaker does not make you academic by default and question someone else's abilities, I believe. Okay. But as I said earlier, I'm always open to have discussions. +6145216920. You can give me a call. Okay. Titanium Sports, Trillium Sports, please give me an answer. Trillium Sports, you can post your question again. I'll try to
my
help
wife
you.
on a student visa right now. After the temporary residence, can my wife start masters?
Can you apply for a student visa after 485 visa? No, not onshore. You can do it from offshore, but you can't apply for a student visa while you are in Australia, and if you have held a temporary visa, 485 visa in the past.
Hi sir, is it a right time to apply visitor visa? So Disha, it totally depends upon the
Applicant or applicant's
applicant
circumstance.
scenario.
Yeah.
So
Tourist visas are still difficult for young applicants if they don't have a strong financial and family ties.
Yep.
But for parents and stuff, we have received many visitor visas during this Christmas and holiday period. We received many positive outcomes. All right.
So MBBS, Aman Dhawan, MBBS doctor in India. Any scope in Australia? I'm 29.
I'm gonna address one more question before I
Yes.
come to you, Aman. Just
Sure.
hold on. Okay. So BR L Sumit, it's a family child care center where I work, and want to sponsor me. What are the requirements and cost? So BLR Sumit, I don't think I can give you indication of cost just over TikTok now. So what I would recommend you, if the business has been operating for more than 12 months at least, okay, and if they are in profit in at least the latest concluded financial year, which could be 2023 2024, and they have a very strong base for from July to September and from October to December, if they have strong financials and if they have employed some Australian citizens and permanent residents as well, and they have a genuine position where they want to hire you and they want to employ you for and give you employer sponsored visa, then it is worth booking appointment with me. Make sure you and your employer both are available in the consultation, so I can run you through the whole process and cost estimate too. Okay, I hope that helps. Now, what is the scope for someone who is MBBS in India? You could come to Australia to study master's degree in a related field, okay, or you can clear your English exams and your medical exams from India and then apply for general skilled migration. You can also explore those working holiday visa for Indians, those options as well, MITES visa as well as a working holiday visa for Indians too. So you can also explore those pathways, and the last option could be a student visa. Okay. Unfortunately, most of the professional qualifications from offshore are especially related to medical field. They are not directly accredited here in Australia, you are required to do exams and you are required to do English as well. So it is slightly tricky, but if you have capability of doing so, you may be able to do that from offshore. Okay. All right, guys, continue asking questions. We continue to be live on Facebook as well as on YouTube as well as on TikTok. If you want us to display your question on YouTube, please bring all the questions to YouTube. YouTube also and Facebook also allows us to share screen too, so it is much easier in terms of interaction and in terms of discussion.
So, Winnie, do you help American holiday work visa?
We don't assist in visas for other countries. So Trillium Sport, I'm not sure. Can I start certificate 3 course in HK while on my masters?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, should be all right.
Yes, you can, but you have to maintain conditions of your masters as well as for the certificate 3.
Chimney is asking, so Chimmy is asking, hi, is it better to apply for master or TR after studying bachelor's degree? Is your, if you are in late 20s? Very good question, Chimmy. So if you're in late 20s and if you have finished a bachelor's degree, which is like good degree that can help you with PR, and if you have a solid plan, if you are currently employed, then there's no need to go for master's degree because you can get permanent residency even on the basis of your current degree that you have just finished. Okay, so I'm not sure your situation, but your situation is Chimmy. I would recommend you to book appointment because sometimes what happens, a lot of people, let me explain you this. People, because migration agents name of the occupation is profession is agent, and people start confusing migration agents with education agents. So it is entirely a different thing. Okay, so migration agent is a person who is qualified and recognized by Department of Home Affairs to advise on visas. Okay, they have their own registration and they're qualified and experienced. So if you see a migration agent, if you go to see a migration agent, they're going to look at your profile, your age, your level of English, and all those things, your employment, your spouse skills, and things like that. From different angles, we find different pathways. So you won't be able to read all that information from the websites or from Department of Home Affairs website or from the blogs, okay, because that information is not available all in all everywhere. Okay, only a migration agent can help you extract that right information from you and then help you guide in the right direction. So please, if you have any confusions, make some investment on yourself. Spend 50, 100, whatever, different migration agents change different fees. We charge $99. Okay, there are agents who may charge even higher or even less. Please go and see a migration agent, an honest, ethical, and transparent migration agent. They can tell you what options you have and how to achieve those options.
Or any chance to get invited in Tasmania after working as a network administrator 6 months? Thanks.
Okay, just I'm going to take this question from YouTube. First, random videos. Can I sponsor my brother study visa? Me being on 482 visa, already applied for 186 direct entry. Can you sponsor your brother? I don't think there's any issue as such. Okay, I nowadays the universities are really fussy using the financials of siblings. Okay, they ideally want to have funds in the parents' names or the applicant itself. But if you are able to receive an offer letter from the university, there shouldn't be any problem as long as you have proper visa. Okay. And then follow-up question, is it hard to enroll at a UniSA Masters in Urban Planning? Again, you just have to make an application and see how
it totally depends upon your documentation, that how
the
your
documentation
is.
Absolutely, yeah. All right. Shravan is asking, sir, which state is good for 190 visa for registered nurse for this year? Which state is good? So Shravan, okay, let's go one by one. Let's start from all the way south. Tasmania requires you to be, if you move there, you need to be working there for 6 months at least for 190. South Australia requires you to be, if, depending upon the stream you're going to apply in. So South Australian graduate 6 months minimum, working in outer regional minimum 9 months, and other working in South Australia 12 months. And Western Australia can give you invite, but they require 6 months of work contract. Okay, they can invite you
from the state,
from the
actually,
state,
from another state. But if you are in a state, then you may apply if you are a graduate.
Yep. And then let's talk about New South Wales. Again, high points. New South Wales is a relatively bigger state. High points. You really cannot say whether you will get invited or not. Similarly, Victoria. Similarly, ACT. Similarly, Queensland. Queensland has limited number of places, so chances are relatively lower there. And I think in Northern Territory, they require minimum of 12 months of work experience if you're Northern Territory graduate. So the story is more or less like same. So if you have 80 points as a registered nurse, there are still chances of getting 189. Okay. And if you have 80 points and if you are employed full time in any of the states and meet the state's criteria, for example, Victoria does not require you to be working for certain duration. So Victoria, if you move to regional Victoria and if you have high points and if you have full-time work contract, if you're contributing to regional Victorian economy, I think Victoria can invite you as a RN for 190 if you have superior English. Okay. And similar is for New South Wales too. But high points are going to be important because registered nurses, there are lots of registered nurses, and this is the time when most of the registered nurses, they get their skills assessments and things like that, and then they become eligible to do EUIs. The ones who graduate in the month of November, they mostly get skills assessment in first or second week of January or February, and the number of EUIs generally is very high at that time. And I believe there would be a small round of 189 as well. But I can't really promise. But if there is any round, it may come in the month of maybe Feb or maybe May or somewhere close to that time. And if you have 80 plus points, you have high chances of being accepted for 189 as well for your.
So we are taking a question from YouTube. Sanjeev Agarwal is saying study visa applied in June 2023. Onshore, not any update yet. When expected?
2023 June, we have received most of the
2023 or 2024.
It should be 2024. Yeah, if it is 2023, that's way too long. I'm not sure. You should ask your agent. There could be I mean, if you have applied through an agent, and if it was 2023, it is like over 1.5 years. It's way too long.
No, it's not possible.
You can discuss with the Department of Home Affairs. Give them a call. Ask. It's been long. It's been very, very long. Our core is asking, hey, any chance to get invite in Tasmania after working as a network administrator 6 months at 85 points? Why not? If your job is legitimate and genuine, network administrator, if you're a genuine job, they can invite you for 190, because in Tasmania you have more places for 190 than 491 this financial year. Okay, so there are pretty good chances. And your follow-up question is, if I get employer sponsorship visa for early childhood after my diploma, do I need batches? Yeah. So our core, that is question from Anne. Because if I get employer sponsored visa for early childhood after my diploma, do I need batches for PR? Not necessarily. Your employer can give you employer sponsored visa, permanent residency as well through subclass 186 TRT. You don't need to do bachelor's. If you get employer sponsored visa, you can get employer sponsored visa for your permanent residency as well.
Sanjeev Agarwal, I think they are taking more time. So it's 2024, not 2023.
Yeah. So if it is 2024, your application should be decided soon in next few months, maybe. Anushka is asking, my partner is about to complete his master's and he is not eligible for TR. So after that, can I enroll? Anushka, if you want to enroll and want to discuss that in detail, you don't just need enrollment, you also need a plan. How are you going to get to PR if you enroll again? So, what course you're going to enroll? These are some of the things. So, what I would recommend you, if you want to discuss in detail what could be the options and get the assessment done, please book appointment. Okay. All right. So 85 chef regional Victoria. Any chance of invitation? I think 85 as a chef in regional Victoria, you have reasonable chances. I believe. I think if you have
Less
85
points.
points, if he has like 85 points, must have superior English. If you have superior English, Victoria prefers people with superior English. Aussie boy, my 485 visa expired in November, and my wife is a retail pharmacist or pharmacy. She didn't have experience with 75 points. Aussie boy, I'm not sure what exactly you want to ask. It seems that you're just telling me your story. Pharmacy, retail pharmacy. I'm not sure the skills assessment, what skills assessment she holds, and the number of points you have written. You have 75 points. I'm not sure what state you're located in. We need to know all the story before we are able to recommend anything to you. Okay. Money magnet, study, cook, and apprenticeship at same time. Can I claim job experience for skills assessment? Okay, so I'm not sure. Can you claim apprenticeship? I'm not sure what kind of apprenticeship. Is that on student visa? Is that on student visa? What was that? Money magnet. Study, cook, and apprenticeship at same time. Can I claim job experience for skill assessment? So for skill assessment, if you're going for a cook skill assessment, you need minimum certificate 3. So you need to complete 1 year of work experience after certificate 3. Then you can apply for skills assessment as a cook. But if you're going as a chef, you need to have a certificate 4 if you're going through the job ready program. Okay, so that's through job ready program. If you are going through other pathways, it could be offshore skills assessment pathways. It could operate differently, whether you have qualification or not, or you're going to get RPL. So in different pathways, we have different ways of getting skills assessment. If you're talking about work experience requirements for skills in demand visa, then that work experience can be obtained even before qualification too, and that should be fine. Okay, so depending upon why you are using that, what is the reason you're using that work experience for, depending upon that fact, your the answer to your question will change. Do we have lawyers? No, I'm a registered migration agent, and in our team we do not have a lawyer at the moment, but we can refer you to a good lawyer if you really need assistance. Okay, Haris is asking, bro, do you have any idea about citizenship approval times? Please reply. So 5 to 6 months roughly. Okay, some applications could be decided in 4 to 5 months too, but average time is anything between 5 to 6 months. Webby, I do understand Australia is overwhelmingly out of houses, and I think some restriction to migration would definitely assist in addressing this particular issue. But I think situation will improve in future. Aussie boy,
Which state is best for the retail and hospital pharmacist with 75 points and without
I can't really say much. So anywhere we have health in priority, it could be Victoria. But again, if you're on lower points, if you don't have superior English, the chances of 190 are limited. So if you wanna increase your chances for 491, then full-time job in regional Victoria with that number of points, and Victoria prioritizing health related occupations, you may have slightly higher chances. You could also explore subclass of 491 pathway 1 in New South Wales, but the requirement is minimum of 6 months of work experience with the same employer for applying for direct nomination for pathway 1 in New South Wales, and there's a requirement of salary as well. So I'm really not sure about your full scenario, but that could be one of the options for
So
you.
Yasir Ali is applying in carpentry. My tier is over in 4 months. I will be filling my EY soon. What are the
So
details?
Webby, so I'm gonna again engage with Webby again. So Webby, we are not asking for people to come from offshore. Okay, number one. There are lots of international students or temporary visa holders in Australia that are helping Australian employers. Okay, um, so we assist those people in getting their
They are
residencies
already,
pass. They
even
are
they are
already
already
here.
living in Australia, and they are already occupied the houses.
So they won't add to any problems of housing as such. um, the kind of people we help. But when we talk about people coming from offshore, so lots of people come from offshore, and many of them, um, they are relatives, husband, wives, spouses of Australian citizens and permanent residents. You really can't stop them. There are lots of people coming on student visas as well, and you may have seen, in last few months we had a lot of discussion about student visas and all that. But eventually, it is one of the industries. So basically, if the industry has to sustain, they need to sell their product. So Australia also has education as one of their largest exports, at number 4. So it's a very difficult, tricky situation even for the government, whether to stop people coming from offshore completely and having all those Australian universities losing their employees, and they have to sack their employees because they can't afford it, or um, just continue blaming immigrants for housing crisis. So it's a very complex thing. You can't really discuss this in by looking at just one aspect. Okay, so there are multiple facets of this problem, not only just one. But definitely people who are currently here, that's okay. You guys can continue saying. We are about to end the show as well, because it's been more than 90 minutes already. Time for us to go home. But if you guys don't like it, you please feel free to leave the show. No issues at all. Wayne is asking, ECT in regional New South Wales. Anu Manadhar is asking ECT in regional New South Wales. So ECT in regional New South Wales is um, fine. I'm not sure how many points you currently have, but if you're working in as an early childhood teacher in regional New South Wales, there's a pathway one for subclass 491. You could be eligible for. You require minimum 6 months of work experience with the same employer, or you could even get accepted. Um, you can even get accepted for um, 190. They can invite you for 190, and even for 189 as well, if you have minimum number of points, if you meet the cutoff. Okay, so Rajinder and Rohit, waiting time for 491 grant roughly 18 months these days. Those times they continue fluctuating. Okay, so Black Penguin, hi. Sir, my wife, she completed RN and waiting for skilled assignment. I mean, skill assessment, and we are in 4082-year visa. So, and what is your question? So, if you have completed your RN degree, waiting for skills assessment, the moment you get the skills assessment, you then apply for UI and ROIs, and finding job as RN is going to be really important. I'm not sure what state you guys are located in, so you also need to look at the criteria for state nomination in that particular state, especially for 491 and 190. Webby, I have lots of other questions, lots of other comments to answer, so I'm just sticking to some meaningful comments and picking those comments for answering. Okay. ICT security specialist 85 for 190, 95 for 491 in Western Australia, working in same profession. Your points seem to be pretty good to me. Okay, so if not 190, they may consider you for 491. I'm not sure how long your current visa is valid for. If it is valid for, say, next 12 months or so, it is worth for you to continue to wait. But if it is running out soon, if you don't get accepted for 190 or 491, you can also explore employer-sponsored visa options. So Jim Josh is saying, I am a civil engineer from Uganda. Am I eligible? So if you are a civil engineer from offshore, you can get skills assessment through Engineers Australia as a civil engineer. So visit Engineers Australia's website and read about skills assessment. You may require to have English, minimum 6 each bands, and then get skills assessment, and then you can apply for general skilled migration from offshore. I'm not sure you have some work experience or not, but if you have some work experience, that would definitely help. Okay.
Gursevak, hey sir, what's the chances for carpenter with 75
So
points?
is that your friend?
No.
Yes. Say let him talk. I want to listen to your friend.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so Gursevak, hey sir, what's the chance for carpenter with 75 points for 189? I think carpenter will for 189 pretty good chances at 75 points. But you have to consider one thing: we do not have a lot of places left for 189 unless there is some they allocate some more seats. So if not this financial year, maybe early next financial year, maybe in September, you may get invited. This financial year, they have exhausted most of the 189 invites. If some places become available because some invites do not convert into visa lodgements, because multiple EOIs and duplicate EOIs and all those things, then there may be some places available. But I really believe that they have given like lots of invites for construction-related occupations. They might consider health-related occupation in coming invitation round for 189. But you have chances there. Shweta Navya, I did early childhood, got the assessment, have 80 points. So, and chance we get from Sydney. Shweta, a very good question. Do you have any chance from Sydney? You need to consider how long can you wait. If you do not have a lot of time, left on your current visa, then you really need to take a quick action, quick steps to make sure that you land in some kind of visa. So please book appointment if you want to discuss in detail.
Alina, do you get citizenship if your child has turned over the age of 10?
You don't get citizen or Australian citizen automatically if your child turns 10. Yes, your child can apply for citizenship if your child becomes Australian citizen.
If
the parents would need to apply for a different visa. Okay, but having your child obtaining Australian citizenship does not fix your visa situation directly. No.
So Black Penguin, we are in SA. She's RN, has 75 points. We are about to expire. Visa, and what can we do?
So Black Penguin, please book appointment. I'll be happy to listen to your story and make an assessment and then advise you accordingly. Ramika is asking, I'm currently on 482, having 6 years of experience as restaurant cafe manager in regional Queensland. So if you are in regional Queensland, if there is a, if you are on 482 visa, you can't do 186 with the same employer because of your occupation. Your occupation is not available for 186 or any skills in demand visa. Only option for you is to go under DAMA labor agreement. So there are a couple of DAMA labor agreements in Queensland. If restaurant manager is in the list, then you can find an employer in one of those DAMA regions and get your employer sponsored visa, maybe 482 and then 186, or there could be 494 option as well under DAMA labor agreement. SP is asking 190 visa application, Western Australia specialist manager, NEC in 25 October 20, still waiting for. So I think it should be decided very soon. It's been more than, I think in your case, 15 months. So which is reasonably the time they take for processing 90% of the application. So I believe you should hear back from them in next maybe couple of months or maybe couple of weeks. Okay, so Sony, I'm a hairdresser in SA with 70 points and 2.5 years of experience. What are the chances, sir? So Sonia, hairdresser with 70 points. I'm not sure you have done expression of interest for 491 or 190. 491 could be an option for you. They may accept you for 491. And if you have like 2.5 years of work experience, and if your current visa is valid for another 6 or 8 months, you can even explore 186 direct entry through SID, skills in demand visa, with the same employer. Okay. Okay, we've got a lot of people are in holiday mood. I know you guys may be sitting somewhere at beach and we're doing some serious stuff. You're trying to make us laugh, and some of you trying to throw your frustration on us, but that's fine. I know we are doing a live show on TikTok and we get people coming from all walks of life, so I don't mind it. Okay, as long as you guys interact with us and you get something meaningful out of this live show.
So Black Penguin, yes, we are in Adelaide. You can book an appointment. So even you can come up to our office. Our office address is level 468 Grenfell Street, Adelaide.
Ramesh Aryal is asking for 186, whose signature should I do from? That's a very tricky question. I'm not sure what is the question related to. What kind of signature? I think so, guys. Just give me 1 sec. Let me first stop our live on YouTube and Facebook. I'm going to see you guys next week sometimes. We are going to post a story when we are going to come live again. Hopefully we can do 2 shows next week again.
Black Penguin, please.
We are going to say bye-bye at the moment on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you, guys. And we'll spend another maybe 5 to 10 minutes on TikTok and wrap this up. All the best.
So Black Penguin,